Welcome to the Traveling Pogma YouTube channel. This video will explain how to pre-clear immigration, customs, and TSA when departing Aruba, or really any of the 15 airports that offer pre-clearance when flying internationally to the United States. We just happened to be in Aruba and thought we'd share our process with you. So first, let me explain. Immigration is the process of checking your passport and visa, if required, to verify your right to enter a country. Immigration can also be called passport control or border control. If you do speak with an immigration officer, they may ask you questions like, where are you going? Why? How long? Customs is the process of inspecting any goods you are bringing into the country to make sure you are complying with their customs laws. Customs is where you declare any imported goods and pay any duties or taxes you owe. Many times you just walk through and don't even realize you've just exited customs. Most airports will randomly select travelers for a thorough inspection of their luggage to make sure they're not bringing soil, seashells, too much alcohol, drugs, animals, fruits and vegetables, etc. The Transportation Security Administration, called TSA, was formed after 9/11. That is the process of going through security and checking your body and baggage for prohibited items and looking for threats to security. As you're not allowed to take photos and videos in most of the security areas, unfortunately, we do not have many pictures or videos, so while I'm talking, I'll show you some of my favorite travel pictures we've taken. Aruba is one of the 15 airports that currently offers pre-clearing of U.S. Customs and Border Protection, also called CBP, and TSA security before arriving to the U.S. This saves you time when landing in the United States, as you do not need to go through immigration, customs, or TSA security when you land. It's just as if you were flying domestically. Way easier this way. In addition to Aruba, you can also pre-clear immigration and customs and security in Nassau in the Bahamas, and both Shannon and Dublin airports in Ireland, Abu Dhabi, Bermuda, and 9 airports in Canada. For more details, check out the website that is on the screen. You can also use mobile passport control, called MPC, when arriving from an international airport into one of the 35 U.S. airports or 4 cruise ports that offer MPC. And MPC is offered at 15 airports that offer pre-clearance. If you want more information on what MPC is and how to use it, check out our MPC playlist for a video on that. So, we arrived at Aruba Airport at 11:15 a.m. on a Sunday morning, mid-March 2025, for a 3:30 p.m. flight. It took us about a half hour to return our car rental and drop off our checked bags at the Delta counter. As I'm going through this video, I'll provide the times that it took us to get through all the different checkpoints, but keep in mind, this can vary greatly based on the time of day of the week, any holidays or peak travel times, how many flights are departing at what time, and how many people arrive at the same time that you do. On the day we left Aruba, there were 49 flights leaving that day. So now let me walk you through departing Aruba Airport with the pre-clearance process. Step 1. Arrive to the airport 3 to 4 hours prior to departure. If it's a busy time, like a holiday or school break, you're checking in bags, or you just don't like stressing, I'd go for the 4 hours, which is what we did. If you're using the mobile passport control, be sure to submit your application within 4 hours of when you will go through U.S. immigration. You'll have plenty of time in line, but just make sure you find a spot that's well lit with no bright lights or people behind you to take your selfie for the application. Okay, step 2. Drop off any checked bags at your airline's check-in counter. Step 3. Get in the first line following the signs to all gates. This line happened to be outside and was shaded with misters that would have felt great if the wind wasn't blowing it away from us, as it was 86 degrees and hot. This line took us about 20 minutes to get through. On April 8th, 2025, Delta, United, Southwest, and Spirit will have a soft opening of Aruba Airport's new check-in terminal for USA departures. By April 29, 2025, all other American airlines are expected to join them, including American and JetBlue. I expect the process will be about the same as what I'm talking about here, but just in a nicer setting. A security officer checked our passport and boarding pass before we were allowed to enter into that building. Step 4. This is Aruba's immigration, which is also called self-service passport control. This took about 10 minutes. We scanned our own passport and boarding passes using e-gates and had our picture taken. There were several agents here helping as the e-gates were very finicky. Step 5, you go through TSA security, and this took us about 20 minutes in line. Step 6, shopping. After going through security, you get dumped into an area with music, shops, restaurants, and bars. But I would not suggest you spend any time here unless you know that you have plenty of time, because you still have to go through U.S. immigrations and customs. Step 7, you've got to claim your checked bags. And this was actually very quick. Within 2 minutes, we found our bags sitting in the middle of the room. Step 8, after getting your checked bags, you get in a line to go through U.S. immigration. And here, if you're using MPC or Global Entry, make sure you seek out those lines. We made the mistake and did not look for the sign for the MPC people. We just followed everyone else into this long line. We quickly realized our error and got out of that line and into the MPC line that only had about 25 people in front of us versus about 250 to 300 people in the regular line. So there were 3 immigration stations open for the MPC people, and it took us only about 10 minutes to get through. The other line, I'm guessing, was probably a good 45 to 60 minutes to get through the regular line. Step 9, after going through U.S. immigrations, we dropped off our checked bags, and this line was about 10 minutes long. Step 10, we had a second TSA security check as we could have removed items from our checked bags. We had to go through security again. That line was only about 5 minutes as everyone already knew the drill. The final step, step 11, you go through U.S. Customs, and this line was only about 5 minutes. The total time for us from arrival at the airport to getting to the gate was just under 2 hours. International flights usually start boarding about an hour prior, so we did have a little over an hour to grab some lunch. Now, our connection in Atlanta was only 50 minutes. I'm glad we got something to eat because we would have had no time in Atlanta. We were one of the last ones to get on the plane, and one of our checked bags made it and one didn't, but no big deal. Delta delivered that to my home the next afternoon. Overall, it was a very busy process, but if you understand what you're doing, I'm hoping it won't seem as overwhelming. If you don't have Global Entry, I would recommend you consider using the mobile passport control to potentially save you quite a bit of time. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button, make a comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Now get out and explore the world.